real. Don't stop, just keep rolling downhill. Crash and burn, can't stand, fall back. You're doing too much, you can't handle.
Entity, a load board or a broker. That's it. Your truck is going to either be someone driver or an owner operator. So now that we know the CC, now that we all know the tools that we need, let's stop dispatching and actually start operating. Give me 1 second, let me change my headset so can hear double.
Let's stop dispatching and actually start.
Okay.
Let me change my.
All right, so this is going now. All right, so dispatching, don't just get the tools.
All right, so
Get the engine.
to go now.
I showed you all what you all needed.
All right, so dispatching, don't just get the tools, get the engine. I showed you all what you all needed. And that's going to be your phone, freight. Excuse me, I think I may need to connect my phone. Okay, we're good. That's it. That's the same tools. The question is, why haven't you been able to dispatch in business if all you need are those 3 things? And the beauty is, your overhead can be around less than $200 dispatching course. And through a lot of mistakes, I am not perfect. I failed tremendously. But that's exactly why I'm in front of you, because I created a system. Don't just get the tools that I'm offering you. Get the engine behind the tools, because guess what? Everyone who's a dispatcher, everyone who's a driver out there right now who wants to work for themselves, they have the same access, the same tools as every one of us, which includes your cell phone, your load board or your broker system, and your driver. That's it. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, excuse me. Give me 1 second. First, before anyone wants to question, I started this well over. I've been in this since then. I come from sales. I am not a scammer. No, I do my due diligence. The market is not going to change. It does not reward task managers, not even close. Most people think dispatching is just about booking a load, being on this thing right here, let me dibble dabble. That's not what dispatching is. It really is about being an operator of the entire system. GL University, we believe dispatching is understanding the operation behind the movement, because as I've already disclosed, we all have the same tools. So how is it that some people are able to take these same tools and turn it into a 6-figure income while others are still struggling? That means someone figured something out. And maybe you have not, and that's okay, because as I am standing here with you today, I'm willing to share my system with you guys so you all can win too. Who is this for? Dispatching for those aspiring new incomers, new dispatchers. Why? Because of the lifestyle. This is for entrepreneurs. If you want something that can make you a 6-figure income from your phone, I have 2 phones, so I can't take them. I'm so sorry. From your phone, this is going to be for you. Truck drivers, why do you want this course, my school? Because if you are a truck driver, if you're new, you actually need a dispatcher. You do. You need someone to help you, because that dispatcher is like your mentee. If you are a old truck driver, meaning you've been in this system for a while and you actually want to come out that truck, you need this. Why? Because you are going to have to become a dispatcher to then become an operator. See, as you're driving that truck, guess what? You're the employee. You don't run that business. That business runs you. The stay-at-home parents, trust me, I was working from home, close to 6 figures. I did not have my own time, though. I was working off of someone else's time, and that was I will say it is very hard. People think just because you work from home, there's a difference. Guess what? The only difference is I get to use my own bathroom. I can't eat if I'm on the phone. If my daughter, which was extremely a newborn when I first started this, and when you're between that first newborn and 3 month stage, they don't do anything. They sit still. Hence, I was a stay-at-home parent. I wasn't going to put my daughter in daycare, so I had to have that responsibility on my shoulders while my husband was out working. It helped me because being a stay-at-home parent, guess what I learned? The background noise really actually matters. They don't want to hear a child in your background. That's unprofessional. They can't hear a TV in the background, any of that. They will look at you as if you're unprofessional. So this right here is right up your alley. Why? Because shippers or brokers don't care about your noise. They care about, hey, is your driver on time? That's it. The second chance individuals, I want all of you who have a background or if you're in jail right now. Why? Do you know an inmate could actually take this course, use my self-paced course, and hire someone to run their dispatching business? They could actually hire a VA, tell them exactly what they want, how they want it to be structured, or just take my framework that I hand to you because I've looked at this thing from 10 ways to Sunday, and I want to make sure that I cover you from top to bottom. That means I'm not just going to help teach you dispatching, I'm going to help your brand image. Do we have a website? Do we have a funnel? Can someone identify you? That's a huge piece because if someone cannot identify you, then they really don't feel like they can trust you. On top of that, we want to make sure that we cover you, and I will definitely get further into that. So hold on. Business builders, those investors, if you want a second stream of income, if you want your money to work for you, you can easily learn this, record it in Loom, go hire a VA, tell them exactly what you want them to do, follow the instructions in Loom, and guess what? Your dispatcher will actually manage your trucks, manage your invoices, and make sure you get paid on time all the time. My story. Meet Catherine. Hello. I come from a sales background. I've been in sales for 20 plus years. Kid you not. I took a $20 investment because with that sales career, I was the number one sales rep for this sales company that I was working for at home. Like I stated, I just had a daughter and I was just recently married. So it was a lot of new responsibilities and new titles that I was trying to juggle. With my daughter being very young, it was easy to manage everything. It was nice. Life on the outskirts, it seemed like it was peachy keen. It seemed like it was perfect. But boy, oh boy, when I say she started to hit about 3 months to 6 months, I was struggling. My husband really could not help because at the end of the day, he was at work. And I knew I wasn't going to put my daughter in daycare, and I did not have any family down here because I come from Chicago. So I prayed. That's all I know. I know I can do one thing, and that's prayer. God sent me my confirmation through my family members. My brother and sister told me about dispatching. I took that $200 investment. I was nervous. Oh boy, when I tell you I was nervous, I was like, man, money is already tight. How can we make this work? I just wanted my money back. So I doubled down. Within the first week, I had 6 carriers. Within week 2, I had 25 carriers. And by the end of the month, I was not only scared, I not only made my month's income, but I said I was able to figure out the system of making $1,000 per truck per week. Now, mind you, I had 25 carriers. So that's $25K per week. Too much. Too much. I made every mistake in the book. I did so much of the wrong things. And that's why I created the system year 2 of launching that business, because I saw the success. I was not prepared for it, not by a long shot. So that's why this breakthrough, this is not teaching you about how to book a load. We already know the mechanics. Hey, phone, load board, truck, there you go. But it's about the system, because your system is really your business, and that is what I had to learn, and that's how GL University came about. I was more so teaching dispatching by itself, and then I realized, I said, wait a second, logistics. As a dispatcher, I have communications with everyone because I'm the person who's managing this load. The collaboration from my network actually inspired me to create GL University. Why? Because guess what if you are in a dump truck right now and would like to try a different type of equipment? Because I learned something. People who come in logistics, they like to stay in logistics because we have something that other people or other industries don't have. And trust me, I will get further into that. So this right here showed me that the collaboration of all the lanes of all of the trucks under one umbrella makes more sense than me just teaching dispatching, because I can actually introduce you or put you in tune with my instructors who's a part of the dump truck, the brokerage firm, the towing, just in case if you want to change your mind, you have that option. So let's go ahead. Your story. If you try logistics, if you are already in logistics, let me guess. You've already watched the videos. You've taken the courses, you've collected a large amount of information, but you're still missing the framework. Why? Because if you find yourself micromanaging, having to do small tasks that really is kind of like pinpointing this from here and trying to piece things together, that means you don't have an operating system that works seamlessness, and you need it. Excuse me. So, the belief shift. A lot of workers, whether it's my dispatchers or my drivers or my owner operators, it's a mindset. I kid you not, it's about the mindset. That leap of faith before I left my job was nervous. I prayed and I saw my confirmation in a grocery store with a person wearing a shirt that gave me the sense of peace. And that let me know I can now walk this path because God confirmed it. And when I did that, and the funny thing was, I was on probation at my job. I was the #1 sales rep on probation. I was still hitting my numbers, hitting above everyone else. But out of 8 hours, I was working 4 because the other 4, I was actually building my business. So by the end of month 1, I was able to surpass what I technically make and my commissions on top of that. So I told my husband, I said, hey, I think you need to quit your job, because my mindset had to shift from here are the pieces that I put together to try and create a dispatching business in the beginning to let's become operators that have a seamless business. So within the first month after he joined, I cut out 12 extra carriers, and then a week later I trimmed that down to 6. A lot of money is great, but if you don't have the time, what's the point of it? I am the type of person, if I put my word out there, I want to deliver. So I have to bring that number down. It's great to, have all these people, but if you can't deliver, that's how you create a bad name and a bad reputation. And that is what I don't do. I was a person who was actually referred by one family member to 6 family members, and they all work with me. The last one is the reason why I actually chose to teach this, because I learned dispatching is not a position. It's really an operational responsibility. You drivers out there who are driving and trying to dispatch yourselves, the reason why you need a dispatcher is because we free up that mental capacity for you. See, when you have something that's operational, that's moving with action, you have to move with it. And as a driver, you have to be focused. My drivers, we ran a tight ship. And if they listened to me, they got paid, and then they got paid on top of that. And I say that all because I made sure they got their additional fees that many people are not aware of, unfortunately, and they don't know how to negotiate those fees. Why this matter? The mechanics have not changed. Have you noticed that? Dispatching has been the same since the beginning it started, except the way we go about it is different. In the beginning, it was pen and paper. Then it grew to the phone, and then it grew to the computer. And by the time I got into it, a little AI was in, but not really. A lot more AI is in now. But guess what? You can work with AI versus have it to replace you. The mechanics haven't changed. You still have to look at that, find that load, negotiate the rate, call the broker, send over the carrier packet, complete the steps. It's the same mechanics. So with my system, I created it so no matter what load board you put in front of you, you run the same system. No matter what rate you put in front of you, you run the same system, because that doesn't change your outcome. It influences it, but it does not change you hitting your numbers. The operator has a very important role, and that's that driver. That driver, if they are aware of what they bring to the table. Some drivers can get big-headed. They will figure out, oh, I am the business. But if you have a partner that's a driver, they will understand the value in partnership, because you can run a truck, but if you don't have the dispatcher and the operator that's paying for it, you are too just an employee of the same company. Understanding does change your decision making, because if you understood the system, I bet you would not sometimes choose that first rate that you go for. And the decisions change your outcome, because the loads that you take, the relationships that you create will determine if you hit six figures within 1 year or even 6 months. And trust me, those numbers are very possible. The lifestyle is what I'm talking about. I'm not selling dispatching. I can teach you my system and teach you dispatching, but I want to sell the lifestyle. See, I was already working from home. I already had the income, but the time, I have this personality where if it's 5 o'clock, I'm not going to say, can I leave? I'm out. Peace. I've always been this way, and I've never changed. I just always had that spirit of I'm an adult. And sometimes some jobs make you feel like you're a child, because they want you to ask, can I take a break? If you're not feeling well, and my job and my business don't come in, because I want you at 100% so you can give 100%. The lifestyle in dispatching gives you freedom, flexibility, and financial stability. Let me say that one more time. Freedom. You get to come and go as you please. Your Friday nights are yours. Your Saturday mornings are yours. Flexibility. If you want to book a load from your phone at the grocery store, go ahead. No one cares who's in the background. And financial stability. You set your own rate. Most dispatchers charge 10%. That's where I was at in the beginning when I started out. Even when I was a rookie, I didn't sound like one, so I still provided value. But now that I have the broker relationships, I understood why my rates had to increase. Because if I'm dedicating you, $15K a week, then hey, it makes sense. Family time. That's the most important time. I have to be honest. You can dispatch while watching your kids with your wife at the park. You can dispatch while taking your kids to the doctor's office. Trust me, I was on the phone at the doctor's office with the broker. True story. After my second child was born, 1 hour after, I was on the phone with the broker. Why? I had a driver on the road. And do you know what? My driver did not care if I just had a baby. He cared if he had another load to pick up. And I cannot believe I put myself in that situation, meaning I was that dedicated. But guess what? I was that dedicated to make sure my driver was taken care of. Even though my husband also had my back, because he too was with our kids. So imagine juggling now baby number 2. Baby number 1 is almost 1 year old. I don't work for a company anymore. I work for myself. I just had baby number 2, just got out of labor. My driver's on the road and that truck has complications. Are you serious? My child don't care. My body don't care. What cares is my broker saying, hey, is my freight on time? Because my relationships were that important. But I said that to say, the freedom, the flexibility, the financial stability, and the family time is worth it. My system has helped us create the system that can make you $1,000 per truck per week. Let me say that again. 1 truck represents $4,000 a month. That's your job right there. Managing 1 truck. If you can manage 1 truck from your phone, come here. If you want to learn how to manage 1 truck from your phone, let me say it right. Come here, because 1 truck is $48,000. Guess what? 2 trucks is $96,000 a year. Now, if you manage 5 trucks, do you see that? Do you see those numbers? That's $5,000 a week. That's $20,000 a month. Now you're tipping over to $120,000 a year. That's your system, your AI system. The first truck took away your job. The second truck put you in a different zip code. The third, fourth, and fifth truck created generational legacy. Why? Because dispatching is a skill you can actually turn around and teach to your kids. Everyone has dispatching. Do you understand that? The police, the military, the Navy, a plumber, an electrician. Everyone has a dispatcher. And guess what? No one really likes to talk to AI on the phone. So we're tossing AI out there and doing so much with it, but we're going to reel it back because people cannot stand talking to the robots. The social proof, oh my goodness, the business that we've launched, the operators. Here's one story in particular that I want to share about the social proof. I call it the security guard with the dying dream. There was a security guard came to us one day, and this person, they've been working for years at a prison. After hearing their schedule, my husband said, nope, I don't want to mess with them at all. When we ask our questions, I ask, what are your goals? Because I want to know, why are we here? What are we doing? This person said, I need to retire in 6 months. I said, it's possible with this, but not with your schedule, because your schedule and that door size is our money size. You don't understand. That door size needs to be a 96. Your schedule needs to be open availability, because if you can do that, then you can hit 10K, we can hit 1,000, and we all can have a good week. I told her, I said, because she only wanted to work Monday morning, Tuesday, and then get off by Wednesday. My husband said, absolutely not. Our time is worth more than that. So I'm going to need you to either go get a driver or get your butt in this truck. If not, we're not working with you. I said, let me talk to him. We'll figure something out. She came back on Monday morning with a driver. She was our first driver, the very first to hit 10K in a week from 3 runs. And from there, she kept listening. Now, we bumped heads before because this is a communication relationship skill network. And I said this story because now, within 6 months, not only did she hit her goal and quit her job, but she actually has a dump truck and another truck. See, the beauty about Global Logistics University, GL University, if you want more than one type of truck, you have that option. You have to learn these trucks because a dump truck does not operate the same as a hot shot, and a hot shot does not operate the same as a flatbed, and the towing is very different. So the knowledge is there, the freedom is there, but you have to know that it does take work. I gave you your tools: phone, computer, truck. That's it. Your system is going to make it work for you. From here, let's see. Excuse me. 0 to hero. A lot of people, they get in this and they're confused. They need clarity. And once you receive that clarity, you are now operating as an operator with the system. And that's when you can graduate to becoming a business owner. Many people, they buy the truck without the MC. Stop, you missed a step, sit down. You do, and I once said on a previous video, if your MC is less than 6 months, it's useless. It is useless. But that doesn't mean you don't run that useless thing into the ground, because you have to grow. You can let it sit, but guess what's going to happen if it sits? In 6 months, when you get up to use that MC, they're going to say, yeah, your MC is aged, but you haven't taken any load. So what are we doing here? You're still a newbie. So you have to run and grow through it, because if you don't, you'll never get to your business owner. You can have a truck. You can be a owner, operator. But if you don't have a system to scale, you're an employee. This is what we teach at GL University. The fundamentals. The communication flow is very important. The money flow, the freight flow, and even the operational responsibility. All of that is within the fundamentals. That is important, because if you don't know how to collect the money and who to collect it from, have a seat. Because if a person like a broker is ghosting you or not paying you, that means you missed a step in the learning, because there is an exit door. God did say, I will always give you an exit way out. So anyone in this lane, there's no way someone can take your money without you being able to collect or stop them in their tracks. If you don't know the secret, just say that, but don't say it doesn't exist. Interview system. Oh my God. I don't know what's more important, the money or the interview, because both of them go hand in hand. In the interviewing system, we created from scratch a carrier vetting system that asks the right questions. And we also have an ebook because you have to vet these drivers properly if you're going to hand them the keys to your truck, because the keys to your truck is actually the keys to your business, and that's your generational legacy. We're going to help you with the documentation and the compliance. We're going to make sure that your business is structured correctly with all of the legal contracts and agreements that you need. We're going to help you with the broker vetting system. Are you kidding me? These brokers do have to answer some of these questions. If a broker don't answer questions such as, hey, who's the shipper? Red flag. Because you can't steal that customer from the broker. Why? The broker is connected to 100 of carriers. You're one carrier with one truck. That broker has volume. You have leverage. The double broker versus freight forwarder. Oh my gosh. So many of you are now not aware you're being taken for your money. Any load that you get off of DAT alone has been chopped up like 4 times as if it's cocaine. Excuse the reference, but that's the only way I can make it clear. Red flags you can look out for your operator. We created a carrier vetting questionnaire, a 20-point questionnaire, because you can't just ask 5 questions to these drivers thinking, oh, I can trust you. No. Let's make sure that we properly vet these people, because we are teammates working together to create a more perfect union. The driver system, guess what? Lane mastery is possible in this industry. There's certain lanes you can hit and certain areas you should not touch. When it comes to keeping the truck rolling, we have a 21 triangle system that has worked. It's honestly. Now every week, you may not hit 8K every single week, but maybe 2 or 3 out the month, yeah, you should be hitting that number, seriously, because the box truck, if their availability is there, that truck should be hitting 40K if they're running. Remember, box truck drivers are usually on 3 weeks on, 1 weekend off, but that weekend is just a weekend. That means they're still on for that week. That matters. The revenue system, who pays who and how and what do you get paid? There are different payment points. You have the ACH, you have your quick pay, which is not even quick pay. You also have your wire and transfer. You have your quick wire. So it's a lot of ways. As a dispatcher, I've only had 2 carriers out of hundreds that never paid. Only 2, thank God. But I will say this, you can actually structure it where the factoring company pays you. Why? Because I've actually had, from even some of my elite carriers, say to me, and my husband, after we worked with them on every single load that week, Monday through Friday, they get their payment on Friday. Can we pay you on Monday? When someone did that to me, I said, you lost your mind. And the grace in me said, you know what? No problem. You must need it. It's all good because my guy is my supplier. And guess what? With that patience, they paid on Monday because, like I said, they were one of our elites. They were our vets. And we knew them, but we made it clear we don't do that, because that is actually selfishness within itself. We served you your loads. We made sure you ate, and then you want to pay us late? No, thank you. We're not going with that. And I don't want you all to think that that's okay either. Operational thinking. That's very important. Now, ownership flow, it's about the identity. You have to see yourself as that owner, because if you don't, that driver won't respect you. And guess what? Your brokers won't respect you. That's why more than likely your brokers are lowballing you guys. Leadership, system thinking, and even business ownership. See, the methodology of Geo University is to understand the operation, protect the operation, get money, let me say it correctly, profit from the operation, and lead the operation. That's what a real dispatcher is. The real ones are doing more than just click, click, click on the load boards, because you can't, and you're not going to get anywhere with that. Now, that's what we teach. That's our framework. If you want to learn the Geo University Dispatching Mastery, this is what we're going to teach. All of this. This is why dispatching is more than just the 3 tools I share with you. This is why I say, hey, don't just get the tools, get the engine, because this is the engine. But guess what? I took it a step further. All of the loads that I brokered with my husband, let me say it correctly, dispatch with my husband. All of the loads, all of the research, I put this into my systems so you all could profit just like we were able to profit. Now, because of this glare, You may not be able to see it on TikTok, so I apologize. The knowledge. I have my ebooks for you guys. My Dispatcher Insider Secret book, where you can learn how to make $1,000 per truck per week. So if you can manage 2 trucks, guess what? That's $100K for you. If you can manage 4 trucks, guess what? You are already past that. The shapes of logistics. You need to understand the triangle of the geographical. What lanes, what areas on the map that you need to stay away from and stay within. The square, it represents the structure. Who's the shipper, who's the broker, who's the carrier, and who's the dispatcher. Everyone plays a role. The double broker, they don't have a role. They're not connected to anyone. And that's why they tend to take a lot from the driver and they don't know it. My carrier vetting system. Get that book so you will know the red flags to look out for. The tools that I created, the carrier vetting questionnaire. You need to understand the 20 questions that you need to use as your interviewing process for your carriers and even your brokers. Guess what? I also am going to include the dispatch document forms for your business, for your agreements and your legal contracts, your business templates. We're also helping you with your branding. But the beauty is right here. That truck and household profit calculator. When I tell you, baby, this right here. See, I didn't create this until later on. We did this by hand. This right here was all of my questions because as a great dispatcher, we did not just cover the overhead of that truck. No. You have to cover that household. If you are a driver right now, if you're an owner operator now, and if you have a dispatching company right now, if you're not asking questions about that household, have a seat. You've done that person a disservice because you've only covered the truck. I saw a video on Facebook where a gentleman said, let me show you how you break down your cost per mile. That's wrong. Because if you did not include the household, then you don't know how much you need to be charging per mile or your rate per mile. And let me say this. If your trucking overhead is, let's say, $1,500, your insurance $1,500. So let's repeat right there. Let's say you spend almost another, let's say $1,000 on gas. And trust me, I know that number is not 100% accurate. I know my numbers. $1,000 on gas. So that's $4,000 right there, right? Now let's say your rent is $1,500. That's $5,500 right there. Let's say your car and all your utilities, let's say that's another $1,000. That's $6,500. Do you hear me? So that $6,500 means we're spending too much money. So when we look at all of those numbers, and I did this with my carriers, and some of them at first they were a little uneasy because it felt like a little invasive because I'm asking, hey, what's the rent? But once they understood, they said, okay, she's really trying to cover us. Because if I show you that your overhead for your business is around $3,500, and then your household is around $2,000, that means we have to hit $8,000 to $10,000. That's not maybe, no, that's we have to. Technically, you have to be at $1,000 because you don't know what you don't know. You have to have a profit margin of loss. That is why I created my calculator. Excuse me 1 second because I want to make sure that I get all of this for you guys. That calculator is to help the household because the household is what needs to eat outside of the business. If the business eats, but the household is, and the business can't cover the household, you're still an employee. And that's not what we're here for. We're here to become and graduate to owners because once we become an owner, guess what? We can actually pull some of our younger kids or youth in our families into these trucks, into these businesses because they're going to college and doing what? Not a damn thing with the money. A lot of them are failing out of it. So that you with those numbers. I took it as that every broker, every shipper, every load board that we work with, every carrier, put that into a system for you guys. I have a load board list. DAT. Be honest, if you're on truck stop, you better stop unless you 1, 2, 3 trucks, and that's not the issue. It's about what broke you right then and there. I had several running. You're talking about having all of this. No, thank you. That's not even possible. But here's a tidbit for all of you. One, if you are 15, they wasn't hitting that number. 20, some was hitting that number. And now, same thing that they were doing 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That's just go get endorsed. Where are your endorsements? And you're still complaining about the money, then guess what? And the branding. Why? Because as a how do I look? I would be like everyone else if I was to just bring the information to you, but not even the identity. Your business identity is what helps to. People see your website, they're going to feel you. Your questionnaire, your calculator, and now you list. So not just brokers list, and for your brokers, guess what? Brokers need shippers and carriers, and guess what? That's exactly why I created and kept it so I can package it for you. Now, if you want to continue, every level gets the same teaching, but every level has get in the room is what I say. Get in the room, and if those prices are too far away from you, let me get. So excuse me, I messed up my camera. So let me be clear. The full curriculum access and which is my Dispatcher Insider Secrets. Learn how to make $1,000 per plus. If I buy your curriculum and I can't talk to you, or if it's hard to reach you, and if I have questions, my confidence is going to accessibility. So that if you want the self-paced, that's okay. Hear me again. That's a one-time. Your income. Let me say it right. Use your income to replace $1,000 a month, up to $4,000 a day. Why? Because that's when people tend to focus. Now you're talking with this. Everything that comes with the standard setup. Let me again. I will be helping you with your business and branding. Help you dress your business up correctly. And a live Q&A. Insider Secrets as a bonus. You will receive your vetting system, profit calculator, that truck and house. That thing that is that's the bar. Your trucking is your overhead for your house is around 2,000. Have to hit between 8 and 10,000. If not, put another driver in that truck and hit. So you make $50,000 a month, or it's $50,000. 60 hours a month, including traffic, drive time, any of that time you get. Now don't get me wrong, it was 12 to 16 hours because days I was done in 2 hours. Why? Because I in the truck and want to scale their business to the next level. Capital and funding access. Now, it's not up to par. We got you with that. If you need funding for your, assist you with that. But more importantly, you receive everything in that globe or list, the shipper, broker, and with the elite, along with the two payment of $10K. Why? Looking to scale. If your box truck is not making 40, because one, your business the next year. I put a lot of time and effort into this. Get the knowledge, we got the tools, I have the systems. Now use the infrastructure to create. You don't need experience. I came from sales and marketing, and I really wanted something. You have a truck, come on, I'm the and manage the load for everyone. But it has layers to it because you have to know how to, I won't say fight back, but you have to know how to bite. Your next step, stop collecting all of this information. Going to your brother and your cousin who really don't have any experience. If you start operating, knowledge creates clarity. Clarity creates offer freedom, financial stability, flexibility, and even family time. Especially, this comes down to one thing. The decision is up to you. You know the price. That could be a lot, and I understand. I put a lot into this because the $200 ago, they missed every. Many people are missing out on their money from losing money out from, I would say, double brokering. It is now you're talking about how to get their money. It means now we're in a situation. I put my heart and soul. Trust me, I've thought you don't have to. I put the all you had to do is get and walk straight through with 2 trucks, 8K. Listen to the numbers. Training with me 3 days a week, 1 hour, 90 days. Why? I'm not trying to take 90 days to get this started. Within that, you're going to have your business set up, your branding already established. You're also going to have your live calls with, also have the knowledge, because trust me, there's load boards out there. It's elite. That's for the person who's looking to scale their dispatching business to more. Can still be a dispatcher, and I'm gonna be honest. Who's out there dispatching as they're trying to business, you have to be one all in on one thing. As I was dispatching, I had their brokers come partner with me where, and I knew I should have said know better, and I know what I put together a system at that win. See, but we didn't have, because we were in a system. Myrtle Beach, one whole month, Airbnb. It was smooth sailing. And when you have a smooth, imagine now being able to walk with cats. The beauty is handling a dispatching call, the operations, and all. I don't go just for money. Anything can get me money, but not everything. Because something there to make the money. I'm on already. I can now from this, or have it's all about time, because a lot did not grow up with that family time. A lot of us want to give that to our kids, but not the type of family time where you're there but you're on your phone. Lifestyle. Be present and cut the strings off from that people connected to, because you cannot turn it over and say you can have the full thing, because once you their lifestyle, work from home, phone, because guess the summer is here. Be different by the end of this next year. You won't go to this desk at this. I'm looking for those who are looking. So go to my website, and sign up today.
Recording stopped.